Hey guys, welcome back. This is Abacus OSL, continuing on with Group J. We just saw Type B pretty comprehensively taking out, who did he just play? Oh, Pure. Sorry about that. So, Type B, a Zerg player, now going to go up against BeSt. BeSt is a beast. One of my favorite players, used to be one of my favorites. It seems he's maybe slumped a little bit lately. A lot of people saying BeSt has slumped. I don't think he's really on a slump. I just think he hasn't played too many games of late. But, I mean, if you still look at his winning percentage, he's still 60% overall. So, I mean, he's a really good player. He's ranked 13th in Kespa. Despite the fact that Zerg is his worst matchup, I just can't see him dropping games to Type B. But to be honest, I didn't think Pure would drop games to Type B either. BeSt is only 51% against Zerg, but again, as we mentioned before, Type B is 33% against Protoss. I guess it's more like 40 or 50, well, 40% now probably after those last two games.
Right, because he has played so little games, and I'm gonna come out and say it that I think usually when you see a matchup like this, and Type B's obviously been training for this. Usually you'll see some sort of cheese from the lesser player on the first game because they have one game to give. They try to go for something crazy to see how you can do it. Now, I don't really know how that would be done on this. I mean, maybe he is going to go for an infested command center. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's certainly something that obviously Protoss players now have to practice for on this map. So it's something that can be considered. You were mentioning before that we started this cast that this isn't really a very good Protoss map, and we were talking about the fact that it's tough as a Protoss to be able to harass a Zerg, and you almost have to go for some sort of shuttle play in order to be able to do that. And we haven't seen, at least in this series, any sort of DT play at all or any shuttle. We've not seen one shuttle built, not one DT built, and not one Reaver built. And I would like to see, I mean, I don't know if there's a good reason for that. I mean, I don't know if BeSt would, is going to try to go for something like that.
Well, we saw on this map before, I can't remember who was the matchup, but we saw that one guy, remember, he had a proxy gateway in the bottom left in this map, and he snuck a DT in and killed a crap load of drones.
I cannot remember.
I can't remember the matchup. Our memory is really bad. Sorry about that. But you can go back and look at it was one of the previous groups we did.
Right.
At the same time, like you said, we saw Zero use that infested command center thing against Cal, and that one game, and he ended up leaving that group.
Yeah, he did.
So it is something that Protoss has to worry about. But like you said, it's just really hard to harass a Zerg on this map, and the reason why is because you've got basically 3, 4 even protected expansions. There's one entrance into the base, so unless Protoss tricks a probe through the mineral line or something, on the outside of your base to sneak around the back, there's really no way for zealots to get through. So it's usually you see the standard play of Protoss is, well, I'm going to get a couple zealots, I'm going to send them out, put pressure on the Zerg. Either they're going to put Sunkens down, or I'm going to walk right in and mess up that expansion, take out a bunch of drones. But in this case, you just don't really have that option. So you're going to see Protoss forced into a different type of play they're not usually used to, and maybe they'll just, go straight to DTs. You might see more of a BeSt build, on this map, just because it'd just be more powerful to get Corsairs and get those DTs in there.
Right, we are going to see an overpull going up for the Zerg player as well as immediate gas, just as we've seen before. Pulling off, looks like he was just going to be getting the speed. So an overpull to Lings, we could be seeing an attempt at maybe a run by here, getting early Ling speed, and that is always an option, although BeSt, of course, being smart and placing a cannon. Although he might need a second cannon. I don't know. Was that I'm assuming, yeah, that's obviously a Nexus there. So BeSt just going for a kind of a standard expansion here. He is getting a second cannon, so that is a good thing. Speed is not going to kick in quite well. I don't know. I mean, we may see speed kick in. We may see the Zerg player Type B just kind of wait for speed and then try to do a run by, and that could be pretty effective. He is going to go for a double expand, it looks like here. So he's kind of playing this very similar, the same trick that he did. I hope BeSt was watching that first game against Pure, because the same exact thing is happening here. And look at that. I mean, he is successful. He might get all 6 of these in just like he did before. And there we go.
Wow. And
that's incredible.
I gotta say, BeSt maybe wasn't watching that, or he's just too arrogant to, put a cannon up there or to put a probe. I mean, one probe, just I mean, he's worried about the run by in the front, which is definitely something he needs to be worried about. But now Zerglings are coming around the back. If you would just put one probe there, you know, that's going to save you the game. And now, again, we're seeing the cannon up again about the same time that Pure had his up, and it's not going to be fast enough. Hopefully, BeSt will do a better job with his probes. But here come the 6 Lings down the ramp. BeSt sees it. BeSt pulls his probes to immediately protect his cannon. Nice job, actually, at least using his probes. You know, he doesn't care about mining right now, because if you lose your probes now, you're going to lose the game. One probe goes down. BeSt doing a better job microing, trying to protect that cannon. Cannon is going to go up, maybe barely, but now Zergling's all over it. Nope, cannon does not go up, and again, that's going to be killer.
Man, I mean, I assume the players, when I usually see her, they're watching games. I am amazed that Type B is able to do this twice. Now, here's the thing. BeSt has better micro. Okay, he has lost only one probe at this point. He is going to put up a cannon in the middle of the probes on the probe line, or on the mineral line there. That way, it's a lot easier to defend. I kind of wish he would have done this beforehand. Meanwhile, we see both expansions going up for Type B, which is what he had the plans on. So he is immediately going to take an advantage here. Although, well, not necessarily taking advantage, because BeSt does have his expansion up as well. So, I mean, the one thing I think that's going on right now. Now, here we go. This is deja vu. This is the same as the last game. I was just about to say that Type B was not, really wasn't harassing the expansion as much as last game. He just killed 2 probes. And, I mean, he's doing 2 things at once, and, I mean, he didn't do nearly as much. So, BeSt, the better player, microed a little bit better.
BeSt, considering he probably didn't see that coming, did a really good job holding off. You could see the huge level difference between BeSt and Pure and how he was able to hold that off the probes. But more importantly than just not losing probes is the fact that he still wasn't mining for a good minute or so with, you know, 15, 20 probes. So that is really going to hurt BeSt's economy still. You know, you can look at it, oh, well, it's 2 base versus 3 base, but it's not. There's not even any probes on this base over here except for just mining gas. The one good thing is, unlike Pure, BeSt is still mining this gas, so it's not going to foil his plans too much. He can still get the Stargate. There's a core going up now. He doesn't have any gas on his original base, which is what the Observer's showing up there. So that is going to hurt him. Wow. You're not going to be able to get as many Corsairs out. Honestly, at this point, though, maybe you just, you know, upgrade quick +1 and get the Citadel and just go for that route and see if you can just get a quick +1, you know, Zelda attack. That's probably what I would do if I didn't have a second gas, because you really do need a second gas as a Protoss to be able to support, you know, Corsairs and Templar.
Well, even enough as getting a shuttle for like a Zealot drop or something, you know, which obviously doesn't require that much gas or any gas other than building, you know, the Stargate, which he's building right now. But, you know, by the time, if he were to go for something like that, there would already be Scourge in the air. And, you know, I mean, that early harass on this map is so powerful. I mean, you instantly, as a Zerg player, just start getting breathing room. The second that harass goes down and you kill a few probes and you keep from mining, you keep the gas from going down. You know, Type B is looking impressive again here, and should be able to pick off these Zealots. Good job getting a surround on both these Zealots. They're both just a couple hits down. Both Zealots go down, and he only lost a couple Lings here. The Spire's up, as you can see there, and I mean, I'm not sure at this point what the final tech is going to be for Type B. I mean, he obviously has no Hydralisk Den. He may just go and get some Mutalisks like he did in the game against Pure and just try to overwhelm the Mutalisk before, here we go. Here the Mutalisk comes out, and if he can get these over there before BeSt gets out the Dragoons, he's going to do a heck of a lot of damage there.
BeSt's problem is he doesn't have any cannons in his expansion, and first Corsair going out to scout, it's going to see the Mutalisk, and hopefully doesn't get picked off. He's got to worry about that. I'm actually surprised Type B is just going straight for the main before there's cannons in there. There is one cannon there with another going up, so he might be able to hold this off. He's ignoring the Corsair. I don't know if that's right. So he doesn't. Oh, Scorch coming in, though. Oh, and that is terrible by BeSt. He should have been paying attention to his Corsair before the Scourge took it down. That's actually really unfortunate for BeSt, because if he had those cannons and the Corsair, he could have held it off a lot better. He's going to try to rush his Zealots to try to pull the Mutalisk's attention away from his base. But at this point, it's not looking like that main's going to hold. He's going to have to send all his probes. There they go. Send all those probes to the secondary, because really his main is just forfeit right now. He's got to keep getting Corsairs out. He needs to bring that Corsair back to his cannons. In support of his cannons, he's just not going to be able to save that main at all.
And even his secondary, there's no cannon in the mineral line. I mean, he can roll up to the secondary right now and start picking up drones there if he wants as well. These Zealots are going to do nothing. There it is.
There's GG from BeSt. So apparently Type B has found a pretty effective strategy, and so far we have not seen a response. So BeSt is going to go down 1 game against a player that he honestly just would probably just expect to breeze through. So he's really going to have to rethink this. Wow. It is a best of 3, so as long as BeSt can come out strong in this next map, you know, maybe he can take it, but we'll just have to see.
Look how confident Type B is, too. I mean, not breaking a sweat at all. I mean, he's playing against high-caliber players, and he's playing extremely well. I mean, you know, this is the B build for the map, man. I mean, I'm just super impressed. This is not something that I was expecting to see. This would be a huge upset, but Type B is looking very good. We're going to see if he can follow through and get another 4-0 all-kill, quote-unquote, for the OSL round here in the next game.